magistrate reached a verdict. I have. Guilty or innocent. Spare me this mockery of justice.
Fucking Red Day. Did you read Alien?
I did. Did you
I
read
didn't
it?
read it. No, I failed you.
No, that's fine.
We were outside.
I got it. No, you did the right thing. The book is it's not inviting. It's not good. It's Salvador Larroca, and some of his scenes are pretty cool, and then other times sometimes movie adaptations really fuck people up. Like when they're really like, 'cause his depiction of Bishop is very spot on. Of Lance Henriksen.
That's not necessarily good though. Like I was flipping through it and I saw that, and it's like honestly, like I kind of prefer a like if you have an idea for a story and you're a serviceable writer, like you should just do your story. Like trying to bend a couple good ideas around like throwing a fucking hot dog down a hallway and trying to give me Hicks back. That sucks my ass. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, James Cameron's movie wasn't that fucking good. Like, just let it die, man. Like, it happened in the 80s. It was fucking cool. It's a one of a kind. Great. So is Terminator 2. Watch it tomorrow. It's fucking meh. Like, sorry. Like, the fucking time's passed, man.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think one of the reasons people stick to it is because it's canon, that there's multiple Lance Henriksens out there. So like the Bishop units all look the same is I think what they would put the fig leaf that they would put in front of their nostalgia.
Yeah, that's cool and everything, and I get that. I know the Android thing, but like if you want to be a real kitschy, you want to touch the fans in the right way, man. Give me the old Bilbo Android, do something different. Like fuck me.
Yeah. For whatever it's worth, the rest of it doesn't touch on the original movies or anything.
See, that's so good at least.
Yeah.
Because I've read a couple good ones. Those you probably wouldn't like them, but yeah, the Dark Horse ones like Defiance and stuff like that.
That's I think it's like IDW or something like that.
Yeah,
that's when
those are like standalone. They'll introduce like a fresh cast, put you in some kind of survivor horror thing, kind of do their own thing, invent their own landscapes, build their own story, get their own characters kind of flowing, and sort of bring you through like a little action story, And then those ones are actually fairly exciting, and I like sort of like seeing new scenarios and characters. I mean, that's the whole fun. But sorry, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's been the way it has been since Dark Horse controlled the property. Like they I have one of those Dark Horse omnibuy or omnibuses and Alien omnibuses. I think you have one too. And yeah, it's all standalone stories. It's all bits featuring your favorite space alien.
Yeah, I've got them all because I'm disturbed. But
yeah,
those
are good stuff.
Yeah, I like that stuff, man. I don't know. Like I like to read new stuff about it, and then but this is part of this kind of makes me sad a bit that to hear you say it was meh. I mean, I didn't think I would hear you say it was fucking aces high. High five, this is my new book. I didn't think that was coming my way. But it should be. It should be. Like, you're Marvel. You just released a whole bunch of fucking promotional material. You release an Alien #1 book. You've got, I'm not kidding you, 30 variant covers.
Oh, I believe it.
So, I mean, like, you're hyping it. You're rebooting some franchise stuff. Like, take it seriously. Fucking LaRocca. Fuck me.
And it's not good. I just don't know if it's because it's a poor collaboration, whether or not the scripts let them down.
Oh man, like get a hotshot team on it. Like fuck off, stupid. You're Marvel. Like honestly, and they're rebooting they're doing like a TV show, which I have high hopes for, but it's probably gonna be let down. But they're doing a 10 episode 1 hour thing. But they do have some like good ideas. They have some like. They have that guy from Fargo involved.
What do you mean, like the director of the TV show?
The director of the Fargo TV show, I believe. And I
Right.
guess he's well thought of, and he's a good, he's a big thinker in terms of like broadening, like he wants to open the universe a little bit. He said he just feels like they're like one-shot haunted house stories. And that's just like played to death over and over and over again. We move from this haunted house to that haunted house, and everybody's claustrophobic, and he's like, he wants to open it up and have some like bigger stakes or something different happen, or I don't know. Hopefully, he makes like a weird humanoid queen, or fucking makes something like ridiculous happen that sort of makes it interesting. I don't know.
I'd like to see something like in when I was a kid, I read one of those alien novels, and the premise of the story was that the aliens so it's part of a series, and in previous books the aliens had come to Earth, and there was a big war, and they had managed more or less to quarantine them or send the aliens underground, but they had also, I guess, Starship Troopers style, or actually in typical Weyland-Yutani style, like done research and tried to create sort of biomedicine out of the aliens. And one of the things is like a super steroid. And the book opens with like, I guess, I remember it opening with like an Olympic race, and like someone just runs so fast and they can't stop running, and they just slam into a wall and crush themselves. And then the rest of the book kind of takes place, like it's militaristic, but it takes place in a wider world, like what you're describing from this fella, this supposed vision from the fella. I don't know. There's room for stuff like that, and there's precedent for it. He could just go back to the old novels.
Maybe he's your guy. Maybe he's our guy then. Who knows? Because he said like. Haunted house story, and he's like, so let's say maximum, he's like, he even said this in an interview, he kind of broke down a little more than I thought he would, but he said like, let's say I have maximum, I got 10 hours to work with, let's say maximum I've got 2 hours of action, I have like 8 hours of source material, like or like that I have to like flush out here for a story. I can't do a haunted house, like it's not feasible. So I need to open it up. I need to have human on human interaction. I need to, so I don't know, fingers crossed. That's what I always do for every alien movie. But
yeah, I just I wanted to say like one more thing about the Alien comic. Not only is the art a little uninviting, or a lot uninviting.
I flipped it through, and it does feel like who it feels like? It feels like I can't remember his name. I don't know if he did a Avengers book. He's the guy that they brought in to like replace Hickman, and he's like a serviceable kind of cartoony artist. And anyway, he's okay, and it's just like, honestly, a bit reminds me of that Iron Man book we just finished.
Well, of course it does. It's the same artist, like it's LaRocca.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, that's the and earlier when you made fun of his name, I thought you just meant like, why didn't you do better? And I think he could do better. Like it's not his forte, though. Like I don't think a story like this works for him. You get him to draw big robots, and actually his aliens look really cool. I'll say that.
Maybe they're warming up. Maybe they're warming up.
No, I think it's going to be a shit sandwich, and here's why. Maybe not the last thing, but the one thing that I definitely wanted to say is that the writing on this is just not very good. And it opens up extremely badly. The dark I see is a truer shade than just absence of light. That doesn't even make any sense as a metaphor. And you can't
you can't take that back.
Yeah, dark like this gets into you, penetrates you, and you're just like, oh, stop it. Yeah. But I don't know, like it's fine. It's serviceable. I just feel they got a serviceable guy. I don't know who Philip Kennedy Johnson is. I don't know if I'm supposed to know who that is, but you suck, Philip Kennedy Johnson. You're a serviceable hack brought in to get some half-ass Salvador LaRocca art. Hope you enjoy your alien experience. I guess that's my review.
That sucks, man.
Yeah,
what? Anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what?
What did he
I'm
write?
glad I did it.
What did he write here?
I don't know. No clue.
Last God is his thing? DC?
Oh, good. Another, what is that, like a tie-in property? Is that what this is?
Warlords of Appalachia?
Oh, God. A sterling resume.
I've heard of that one. Wait, no.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's funny.
Batman's Secret Files? Oh.
Yeah, they just it's weird. Like, you've got this tight property. Just get someone like, well, you can't fucking bring in Garth Ennis. Give him a lot of money and just, there you go. You know, like, that's fine. He'll do it.
Anybody.
Yeah, you know.
You can't, what's Mark Millar doing, man?
Well, he's making real money. He's making real money. He doesn't need to fucking come in and watch Alien.
So what? Pay him for
every one of his properties is a movie.
Yeah, I guess. Or like, but I mean, like, there's still guys, man. What's Azzarello doing? Fuck, I'd rather have Azzarello.
He's probably already written some Aliens in the past, but yeah.
Oh, man, I know. Like, what's it gonna cost you? 40 grand? Cut me some fucking slack here. Jesus Christ, man. Don't shit on your fucking franchise right away.
Yeah.
Fucking lay an egg on book one, man. Anyway.
Speaking of shitting on a franchise, what do we, let's transition over to what we came to talk about today.
Yeah. We like to transition this baby right over to fucking Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. We're coming out hot. I don't know why we're reading this at all. You know what happened is I just had some weird fucking moment where I saw a Hulk comic in my collection in my storage unit, and then I thought to myself, you know what? Let's fucking read something that Greg Pak writes. I don't know why I wanted that. I'd rather have Greg Pak on Alien. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. I agree, actually. Yeah, go on.
Fuck, can't cost much either. Not to dig on Greg. I'm sure he's a great guy, and it probably makes a fucking quadruple what I make, on any given day. But I just mean, like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah. And I saw a Hulk comic, wanted that. Then I started leaning toward Hulk, and then realized I don't know if we really wanted to talk about Hulk. But then somehow that transitioned into the fact that Greg Pak spent some time in the knee deep on Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, and for some reason that got us fired up. Or me, I don't know. Yeah,
no, I got excited because obviously I was like, for me, I got excited because it was a way for us to have our cake and eat it too. Because in addition to reading Greg Pak, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, I was like, okay, in exchange for that, we're going to read an old Valiant 1994 Turok Dinosaur Hunter, #1. Which I'd never read before, but it had Bart Sears art. And it was this is a property. It's a weird property. Like, it's got tons of video games.
Turok's in the fringe, man, but blew up on the Nintendo 64. But it existed much prior to that, right?
No, that's true. But I think that there's Turok games up until today, I think. Like, I think there's at least Turok 2, 3, a bunch of games we probably never heard of, never played.
Yeah. I only played the two for Nintendo 64, which were both fabulous. Actually, I have a remastered, adjusted physics and controls version for my Nintendo Switch. It was about $15. Absolutely lovely. Me and Chris played it last time he was down for like a few hours. It was a blast.
Yeah, the last Turok, I think it might have been. I think there was one in 2008.
Yeah, it looks like you nailed it there. There's a Turok in 2008, which would have been probably an Xbox 360. Game Boy stuff coming in, and
Yeah, so it's just managed. I think it's mostly survived over there, and then any comics that emerge from the property, like they're not the source material any longer, although Turok originally comes from the comics. So we've got a situation where it starts in comics, continues in comics, manages to become a video game, then dies in comics, and then reemerges from the video game into comics. I didn't really need to spell that out like that, but
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
okay. We're gonna first review the Greg Pak
Yeah.
Turok Dinosaur Hunter, the Gold Key Dynamite,
Mm-hmm.
with Mirko Kolak and Corey Smith on art and color.
They do the color too.
What's the first take?
For me, is okay. So I guess charitably, I'll be charitable and say my first take is like, what the fuck? It's very, I guess for a long time it just seems like it's going to be you're waiting for the dinosaurs to show up, and then what shows up at the same time as dinosaurs makes no fucking sense to me. Like all of a sudden there's these like crusading soldiers, and it's like it transforms into an alternate history story involving colonialism of Native Americans on New York, like Manhattan Island, I guess. Yeah, that's all. I was just like, what the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah, that was that was when I went on a little tirade and messaged you while I was reading it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this started off as like sort of a tribe story where you're kind of waiting for your dinosaur fix, like sort of a Native American-ish inspired tribes, sort of the kid loses his parents, they're dueling, and then you're like, where's my dinosaurs at? And all of a sudden it's Pocahontas. The Christians show up in their fucking armor. Yeah. We're here to settle the North, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? I was like, honest to God, like, are you James Cameron? What the fuck are you doing, Greg?
Oh, that's actually a good touchstone. Considering, considering
James Cameron's honestly been fucking with my whole life here today. That's what's happened. First I gotta have this alien hot dog thrown at me. And then I gotta have this fucking Greg Pak coming up with this goddamn Pocahontas shit. Got Avatar happening.
Yeah, it's definitely an Avatar thing. That's funny. I didn't think of it that way. What I think my primary problem. Okay, so my initial response is what the fuck, and then my second response is this art is unintelligible. Sometimes they manage to make like kind of interesting pictures, like especially at the beginning. I think it has a really strong opening, and then as things proceed, I'm like. Yeah, and as things proceed, I'm like, I literally don't know what's happening panel to panel. I can kind of figure it out, but it's not clear. This isn't really good storytelling. These guys are not ready for the big time. It's not bad, but the fundamentals are weak.
No, I know. Even I'm watching the. Like I'm actually reading. I think it was like page 26 when the old guy gets knocked out by the fucking English arrive or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like, shut up, you clonk. They knock the uncle out or whatever. And I have no idea how those panels transition into them even arriving or where the bad guy's happening or where the action even came from.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck even just happened here? Same thing.
Yeah.
At one point, remember when Turok arrived in the armor? It goes closer to the end.
Yeah.
And he duped them, and then all of a sudden he was out of the armor. And,
shit!
I was fighting a dinosaur, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I got to be honest. I did a lot of skimming.
I don't. Did a lot of skimming. Honestly, I'm not sure that hurt the book or anything.
Yeah. No. Well, especially near the end. I want to formally just quickly here one time. I want to apologize to Lauren Affe, who did the colors. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Throwing that down there. Yeah, those other two hacks did the art, and Lauren doesn't deserve any shit because she did great colors. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. That's not bad. Yeah. I like
it's not her fault they can't fucking render backgrounds or action. I liked their panel layout, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you pull back on the pages and look, their panel layout's very strict, like very, very structured and nice. And splash pages are on point, like when they should happen and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they just can't fucking string together any action to save their lives. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. And that might come down to because this is a full script, and speaking of 30 variant covers, like half of this collection on Hoopla is like, how many pages in it? 152 pages. 50 to 60 pages of that is script and variant covers.
By the way,
package.
Mostly a lot of Bart Sears covers on the original. Yeah. What an absolute beauty. Great covers, by the way.
Yeah, some of those, some of them weren't bad. But still, though, I'm just saying, like, this is
soft.
It's soft. And what happens in this fucking book?
Okay, well, I mean,
no, here I can break it down super easy. Like, okay, so some people with monsters show up to terrorize a village. The local hero runs away and hides, and then comes back and fights dinosaurs and the local villains, and then that's it. Like, that's the extent of like anything that happened in this book, and it just shows like, and in that running away, hiding, and coming back, you know, he does some tricky things. I'm led to believe, but I can't follow it because of the art.
Yeah, and it's basically like law-abiding citizen, but he's wronged, and then he does like tricks and lays traps and gets the bad guys.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's it's very simple, you know, and I don't know if this material really requires anything more than this, maybe, but I like the idea of a guy who hunts fucking dinosaurs. I think that's the awesomest thing in the world. You know, he's just so fucking badass that he fucking kills velociraptors. That's like Captain America shit.
Yeah, and this guy, and I mean, like, this, I'm sorry, but this did have a couple of moments. I don't know if you, in the beginning, I was pretty invested in the kind of like fight with his brother type guy or whatever, or the bad guy. Yeah, Ander, that ends up being the kind of like his like nemesis at the beginning when he's basically tribe, and then they become like sort of unlikely bedfellows, whatever.
Yeah, honorary brothers.
They join up together to fight the Christians. It's fabulous. But then that first when Turok looses that first arrow after they toss the old man off the wall. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful, beautiful. I was like, oh, hit that guy right in the fucking throat, and I was like, okay, Turok's in the house now. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a couple like splash moments, a couple T-Rex moments, or guys getting mauled by dinosaur moments where I was like, okay, because they kind of broke away from the Pocahontas thing pretty quickly, which I did like.
Yeah.
That they sort of discarded that and turned this into an absolute shit show, which was okay with me.
You know what really bothered me is that, like, one of the biggest problems with this story is that there's literally no communication between Turok and the villain. So there's no relationship between these two entities. They're just engaging in simultaneous action against one another. It's just an interesting choice. It just creates a real barrier to caring.
Well, I think Turok like points a fucking spear at him once in a while when they're in the battlefield scene, and then that's how we establish that they're like, fuck you, no fuck you. And then
I'm looking at that scene right now. Yeah, that's exactly it.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. I mean, the stakes are high, you know.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this picture of this fucking T-Rex, and it looks ridiculous. They don't have any weight. It looks like it looks like a Macy's Day float. Its feet are not in the ground. It's just like this floating, screeching, photo-referenced thing.
It's true. It's awful.
And then when the woolly mammoth shows up, you're like, what? Mammoths didn't exist. It gives like a literal date, 1000 AD. Like, I may be wrong, but I don't think there were any woolly mammoths at that time.
They actually do a full page of crunch, crunch, crunch through the bush, and then they're like, "Oh, forgive us, it's just a mammoth." Like, so you wasted 2 full pages on that, and nothing fucking happened at all. And I mean, like, the content was already pretty loose without wasting 2 pages. But
yeah. So and then the dinosaurs fucking. I like when he bit the horse, but that horse looks. It looks like a cartoon horse. It looks like it's almost transforming into like a Looney Tunes horse as it screeches. Like he's not getting it just right.
It's just missing the mark. That's
I could look at that picture all day though. That's
the image that gives you the book really.
Yeah.
And then Turok. Man, you know what? I don't know. I like that he's riding the Velociraptor, and then he made friends with it, and that he fucked up these Christians pretty hard.
Yeah.
He duped them. He booby-trapped them over and over again, the dumbasses. He got the water creatures eating them. He just fucked them. They couldn't stop him at all.
That would have been a really awesome moment. Like that's a perfect moment for a single page, splash event, which this Greg does try to make good use of your single page splash. I'll give him that. He had some bad art. They're like, I'm watching the T-Rex chase that fucking dog. Oh, that must be much later. I remember when they threw the dog or whatever. Yeah.
That's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. That's when I first thought. I was just like, wait a minute. This
if you're flipping through, you should see when Turok ditches the uniform into his regular clothes, and it just happens in like one panel, and you're like, wait, what?
Just like going off to just ripping off your shirt.
Yeah, and then he fed the T-Rex to those water critters, which like doesn't make any. And then
sorry, go on. He doesn't undress.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He just sort of like appears without just armor. Also, like, there's a T-Rex like 3 feet away from him, and he's undressing.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
That's not a good call.
Yeah, I think they got that to work
while he's taking his sweater off.
Yeah, that's just terrible art too. Like we need to see that transition.
The T-Rex is like, her. It's like 4 inches from his fucking face. He turns, he talks some shit about the crabmen, takes his outfit off, jumps in a canoe. How did you manage that?
Yeah, and then when you're in the water, like, why does that T-Rex, it's flying. Like, why is it flying? It should be in the water, and then so are the fish. Like this, it makes no sense. Like, it's really abstract.
It's overweight too. Like, it's a diabetic T-Rex. Its little legs kind of fucking weird. It looks like it's going to fall over, and then it gets eaten by these shark fish that are flying through the air. The T-Rex is flying, the shark fish are flying, everybody's flying through the air, and then the fish are like a fraction of the size of the T-Rex, but devour him in 2 bites. I don't know what happened.
I think they just sucked him down under the water because they can swim and he can't. But again, that could have been really fucking cool. I could see that working in a movie, like the Jurassic Park style, something like that.
Yeah.
And I bet that's what Greg's going for. But anyway, that's what happens when you do business with dynamite.
That's right. He wrote it, and they were like, "Listen, man, we got a crack team here for you. You just tell me what you want to draw. I want it like Jurassic Park. He's gonna get eaten by the fucking dinosaur fish, right? You get it, guys? You see that one in Jurassic World?" And they're like, "Yeah, no worries."
Yeah.
And then they fucking drew that and handed it to him, and he cried.
Don't have to worry about a thing, Mr. Pak. They probably fucking salute.
Handled, and then with the fucking one guy calls the other guy, they probably did that picture together. Yeah. And then the end of the book ends with the little dinosaurs in the wood. Cree, kee. They're talking to themselves. The fucking raptors.
Oh, shit.
Giving us a little fucking Easter egg from the original source material. Thank you, Greg, for being the only fucking person that cared about Turok.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, I guess we can go on over to Turok.
Which is a beautiful transition to the real fucking Turok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
this was
the main man.
Yeah. This was like, so, all right. So this got me a little jazzed. Bart Sears is, he's a 90s staple, and he's, I think he, so Todd McFarlane was doing a major crossover event for DC called Invasion. And then Todd got a better offer and went across the street mid event in beautiful Todd fashion. So Bart Sears came in and finished it off. And I think that's when he got that was his big break to sort of show. No, not Turok, the big DC event. But,
yeah.
Yeah. But Turok was a huge seller too. It was it's like 6th when it was released or something like that. And then David Michelin, I was just reading some of his Avengers comics right now. Like he wrote Avengers 180 to 200 and whatever, back in the 80s. He wrote the Iron Man arc with the alcoholism, Demon in a Bottle.
Nice.
And that was back when Bob Layton was their editor. And so, when Bob Layton and all those guys left to go do Valiant, they took guys like Dave Michelin with them and Bob Perlman and, like all these old Marvel staffers.
So what you're telling me here is Turok issue number 1 is basically a fucking all-star team.
It's kind of, from some perspectives. Yeah. From a certain time for sure.
Yeah. And, this was fucking, right away I cracked this baby open. I hit page 1 and I was like, okay, this art is on point for what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, we're immediately having a fucking drug-induced hallucination by the fire. Now we're real fucking, I feel like I know Turok now.
He's intense. And these panel layouts are great.
He's in a fucking loincloth. He's absolutely jacked to the moon.
Yeah.
He's having fucking spirit visions. He's got a fucking knife, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little less. So I think what Greg Pak, in having the Christians or whatever, like Turok's a very, as they would say, problematic character, right? He's an Aboriginal, hunter, warrior. Like it's very, cowboys and Indians without the cowboys, and. And it comes out of that tradition of comic books.
I mean,
no, it does. And
I know, but I mean,
but Greg,
I'm trying to enjoy Turok for what he is,
Well, you can. I mean, you definitely can. But all I was going to say is that one of the ways that Greg Pak, I think, was trying to deal with his awkwardness with the material was to make it explicitly about colonialism. In an effort to just be like,
right,
okay,
say,
let's try and talk about this.
Let's just have a quick go at this and say, okay, these are Native Americans or whatever, potentially, and despite the fact that we're doing a fun dinosaur fantasy with a hunter native, we're still going to we're going to address the fact that their people were horribly wronged by hideous rejects with a demented godly cause from overseas, which is fine and also semi-appreciated in its own way. It's just that you definitely ruined
it. Just sucked.
You ruined your own book. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And I think there's a lot of room for what Greg's up to. I just that was a poor effort, Greg. Sorry, man.
Yeah, maybe book 2 he got his stride after he got that out of his system, but we'll never know that.
Yeah. So anyway, this here is like, if you put aside the politics of it and you
which
just
they
take
did
it
in the 90s all the time.
Absolutely. And that, and there's room for that. And so this turns it, it's a pulp adventure with a really weird. I did think they went really out of their way to include all of Valiant's continuity in this.
Yeah, they did he did like I was gonna say that's my one beef with this was that this guy he world built to in the first issue to like his own detriment, to the point where like his world building, he wrote this fucking first issue like there was not going to be a second issue. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
like,
yeah. The end
it was fucking heavy-handed. Like, holy shit, this guy went all over the fucking universe. The gore was great. Bart Sears came to play, and then we had like an alien race of robots. They bring in Magnus. They bring in their gods. And this is like by page 3.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not calling it world building is being too kind to what's happening here. This is recap of franchise. Is what's going on here. Previously in Valiant Comics, generally.
This is basically Youngblood all over again, right?
Exactly. But it's fine. I think it's much more interesting than any of that stuff. I just think that I think if this was a Marvel book, there would be footnotes, editorial footnotes. See Unity Saga, something like that. And I don't know, maybe that's to its detriment. Maybe it's not, but it doesn't make it. It's not needed, I guess, for the rest of the story. Maybe for the rest of the series, but I guess it explains the hyper intelligent dinosaur. Maybe.
Yeah. That monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That dinosaur fucking came for him hard with his brothers, scratched him up, and then he was like fucking in a random Colombian jungle in the future all of a sudden from being in a savage land.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he was like in 1986 in a little village, in a farming village. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I think that and this is what happens when you're using like the Aboriginal hero or whatever, and or let's just say like the concept of the primitive. Wherever you place the adventures of the primitive, it suggests that you think that that's a primitive place. And so he's in Colombia or whatever, and it's just like, over there with the savages, like a dinosaur movie is going to make a lot of sense, and there's going to be drug lords, and they're going to be part of the story too. And
I mean, I mean, the internet was just getting started back then. If you want to cut Buddy some slack here,
I think you would have found this in like a Hollywood movie and stuff.
Just, 93. I can give him a pass on 93, man. He couldn't do shit back then.
This would be a Schwarzenegger jam for sure.
This is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just pointing this out. I'm not damning it by pointing these things out. This is a fun book, and it's superior to what we read. It's far superior.
It is. Because he's more like Tarzan or Conan.
Yes.
Sort of. Yeah. But then he has more like Aboriginal traits, right? But he's awesome. And then his Colombian princess against him, heals him up, and he pays the villagers back by showing them how to shoot down seagulls with his sick bow.
They're all farming. He's they're making fun of him. He's but they don't know. There's a talking dinosaur out there.
He's out chilling by the creek, and his Colombian princess is just splashing her hair back through the water. She's got a ton of side boob. And then he just puts a panther down with one blow. Whoosh, the bow is out. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and it's rendered extremely well. I understand all the action here.
Bart's
beautiful.
Point, except for his horrific portrayal of Turok. You would not want to fuck with Turok. We don't know what Turok is eating in the woods, but he's an absolute monster.
Yeah. Well, he just, it's natural, but yeah, holy fuck.
Yeah, he's a fucking it's genetics, I guess. And then and then of course Monarch and his fucking brain raptors, they hunt him right through into Colombia in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, not sure how they fucking transitioned from the savage land into the. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they landed here too. I think they fell out of the same portal or whatever. Something in there's missing. There's a past there.
Well,
we need to
no,
explore.
there's like the same. I feel like it comes in the beginning with the robots and Bloodshot and the rest of the universe from Valiant. It's basically like there's a cave with a bunch of portals, and in the caves you can just basically go wherever. And how that was just discovered by Turok and his bro. And then that opened the fucking floodgates for everybody to just easily travel between worlds to the point where these fucking raptors hunted him into the bush. But this time, since he healed up with his princess, he's ready for the real fight.
Yeah, I like I am thinking about that, like them just going, and it literally opens, like they're just going into a cavern and they end up in like Middle Earth or Hollow Earth theory, which is what I really, but that's really wild, man. That's a wild pulp idea, and I got a lot of room for that. Like one of the things that really disappointed me about Greg Pak's story is that it wasn't pulp. There's nothing pulp about that story, and I think it's required. Like I think if you want to comment upon the politics of the issue, fine, but you still need to do justice to, like you couldn't, if you're going to do a Conan story, you can't just talk about the issues of Conan. You also have to talk about the issues of Conan within a Conan story, and you don't fucking get that here.
Well, the cool pulpy thing about this book too is that like this is a barbarian, like a savage man that that hunts and kills, like and is a brutal, effective mercenary, or not really killer, sorry, more of just like a hunter in his purest form or whatever. But like you want to have your properties, your other heroes, you want to have robots, gods, and you want to have like some modern day elements for like regular village storytelling, so on and so forth. If you're going to do that, you need to come up with a fucking wacky way to do it. And Greg Pak made zero effort. He just put it in its own timeline in a box. And that, I feel like that's what makes it not Turok. I mean, like, you can't, there's no excuse for smart dinosaurs and Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. There's no, you gotta weave that for me, man. You gotta give me something to play with. This guy did that.
And man, and I want Bart Sears again. I'm looking at this final fight, the village, and he takes on those dinosaurs without any arrows.
Awesome.
And from like movement to movement makes sense, and it's like a Barry Windsor. It reminds me of Barry Windsor Smith, Wolverine fights, and he's absolutely cribbing off of that. I totally see it now. And then movement to movement, cuts off that fucking dinosaur's head. Awesome.
The beauty, the fucking bow knife, the hidden surgical blade. Tick.
Yeah.
Full decapitation.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then episode over.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's when fucking the tagline hits, man. Better off alone. Alone is better. No, it's just like, what does he say? For once, I'm alone in this world. Alone to wander. Alone to remember.
Yeah. That's a funny callback. Alone is better. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and then there's the tears of the Colombian princess. Just a memory in Turok's mind. He needs no one.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. That's awesome.
This one gets a high recommendation from me, I think, though.
I would tell people to read this. Like I just like, it's weird. It's fucking weird.
It's super weird. I can't imagine them doing a run either. Like I almost love to. I'm sure it's not collected, but
I've stole. It's strangely not. But or I don't know. I didn't try too hard to find it, but I did steal like 44 issues of this in order to get issue number 1. I kind of wanted to flip at least through 10 of them or so. See what develops. I can't imagine it'll be any good. This needs to be pure, and but we'll see.
I saw this awesome thing on eBay. I was gonna send it to you. I was laughing. There's a guy selling. Oh man, he was selling like fucking, I don't know, like 30 copies of Turok the Dinosaur Hunter in issue number 1.
Well, I don't think I don't want it physically in my house, but actually,
are you sure?
if I had room, like honestly, if I had unlimited room, I'd have a disturbing comics collection. I would just love to physically flip through these things. That's so enjoyable.
And remember when we were talking about grading comics and so on and so forth one time?
Yeah.
If I was gonna grade something and have it on my wall, I gotta say it's gotta be Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, number one, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that cover is choice. That is a choice fucking cover. I might agree with you there.
Like, imagine that it's got that chrome, that red chrome on the cover, and just like,
yeah.
I mean, like if you're gonna like tell people you were a real comic book nerd, and that you valued weird shit.
Yeah. I don't own anything with a chromium cover anymore. I feel badly about that. I should have at least something from that era.
I mean, hey, you just talked yourself into Turok number one.
Well, you find me a grade A mint or whatever edition, and we'll talk turkey.
There's a guy that's got one in the fucking box. 9.8. Already pre-graded. $124.99 US.
Oh, that's like a steady breeze, man. That's worth it.
Is it? Because I can get the issue for $1 and $5.
Yeah.
Like without that plastic case on it.
Yeah. That's like, Duchamp's toilet in the museum, right? It's art because I say it's art. It's worth money because I say it's worth money.
Anyway, I'm getting an issue with Turok. I'll send you a picture when it comes in.
All right, man. Or send a picture. We'll send this picture out to the Extinction Nation.
Yeah. Too bad. Yeah, I don't know how we'll do that. I guess just attach it to something.
I think I can actually, as part of like the podcast outflow shit. I can attach things. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. See if I'll put downloadables.
We canceled Twitter because there was too many weirdos.
It was a fucking full-time job, man. What the fuck? Promoting yourself on Twitter, doing what we're doing? It's not. It's not what we want.
Man, no. I don't want to have a conversation about anything. Any conversations we had were so fucking stupid too.
Yeah.
Like being employed. Like if you're employed, I'm sorry, Twitter's just not for you.
Oh wow. No, it's addictive and fun. I can see that.
I'm dropping that bomb out there. Like,
yeah.
If you have time to like research and slay on Twitter, congratulations for being a fucking bum.
Okay, well that's fair. That's
fair. That's and they know it.
Yeah.
The real blowhards. Like that's not a forum for normal fucking people.
I'm gonna take it to Twitter. Yeah, it's fucking.
Oh fuck yeah, you're mental. While you're at it, you probably dip back into the Reddit forums too. Fucking just waste your life.
See what people are talking about.
Oh, they got a lot to say, I'm sure.
No, it's the salons of the future, man. That's the most horrifying part of it. It's perfect for. I was listening to. This is a far afield from fucking Turok, but I was listening to a talk about this fella named Walter Benjamin. And I don't know, they were just talking about the, like, modes of communication and forms of ideology. And you couldn't, like, Twitter is perfect for ideological positions, for fanatics. Because you don't have to really be clever, right? You just have to have a fucking opinion. And you can just share it within that space. And it just turns discourse into mob behavior. It's a technology for turning discourse into madness. And it's fucking garbage. So... please stop, everyone.
Yeah, just stop yourself. Well, I mean, I guess it just, is a place for donkeys to engage other donkeys.
But sadly, donkeys, oh, wow, here's the metaphor. Donkeys kick, donkeys mew, they existed physically. And if you give them a place, to get riled up, maybe even to organize, might be, you get a donkey fest. You get a fucking...
that sounds awful.
Yeah. So all right.
All right.
Turok,
I think we can grade it now that we described the hideous talking fest. Well,
so
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't know. That Greg Pak one we already said it fucking doesn't make any sense, and the writing's ho hum, and I can't give it any more than a 4.
No, I was right there. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4 dead Christian knights out of 4.
Out of 4, that's 100% Christian knight death.
Well, no, wait, sorry, no, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 20. Fuck that.
Oh, that's good. There we go. And yeah, and then the original Turok. Man, I got to give that like a 7 or 8 based on what it was. Like, if I didn't have to read any Turok ever again, I'm good.
Yeah, me too. Like, you get, like, if I want to know what happened in Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, that's the first time. That's got to be I don't know, man. I challenge you to come to me with a stronger first issue. Like, it's like something that, like you not only did you toe the line for your company's shitbowl fucking intellectual properties, fucking Magnus, make me want to cry. Like, so you towed the line for everybody. You world built. You came up with a pulp story to justify fucking dinosaurs in Colombia. And then you also gave me the fucking purest form of Turok, the monster hunter, and gave me action monster hunting in the strongest form available after a fucking opium fire. I mean, jeez. Like, you, I put that up against any number one any day. I gotta say it's a 7.5, 8, easy too.
All right, great. Unexpected. Unexpected. I
totally didn't expect it. I expected it to be vastly worse than the Greg Pak one.
just the whole chat. So anyway, for more up to the minute reviews on pop cultural events.
Mm-hmm. If you want to listen to some reviews about shit no one reads, you know, this is where you can get them. Yeah.
This is where it's been happening.
Yeah.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.